Hi, I'm Cynthia Izaguirre in Dallas, and here are your headlines from North Texas. There's new action being taken over a Dallas road neighbors feel is dangerous. This follows a crash that killed 2 children and an adult. Richard Solomon shows us where the danger lies and what's being done about it.
There's a fear that comes with living along East Clarendon Drive in Dallas.
1 adult and 2 children passed away. It's a big deal.
Just last week, 3 people were killed, including 2 children. Neighbors like Karela Rodriguez say it wasn't the first accident on this stretch of road.
La mayoría de los accidentes nos ha tocado.
She says most of them happened at night or early in the morning.
It's due to excessive speeds.
And her neighbor Alex says they've asked for help from the city.
Some even, they go into the woods or they even flip.
But on Tuesday,
the other day we lost children through tragedy.
City leaders responded with a plan.
We're going to listen to you. We're going to meet about these matters, and we're going to include you in these decisions.
Newly elected Councilmember Maxie Johnson, along with other officials, say the city is launching Vision Zero. It's a plan aimed at eliminating traffic-related deaths and serious injuries by the year 2030, cutting those down by 50%. Johnson admits changes won't happen overnight.
I guarantee you that we are listening and we are hearing you.
Councilmember Johnson says there are some changes that could happen sooner than later. He wants a lot of this vegetation cut down and also on the streets, flashing signals.
More signaling or even speed bumps would help.
But residents want these promises to be kept. They've documented several crashes that have happened here over the last 5 years, including a car that hit a home. And until something changes, neighbors say they pray no one else is hurt along this street. In Dallas, I'm Richard Solomon.
A daycare is suing the city of Rowlett for $1 million after a sewer main break caused major damage to its building. We first reported this story back in June. Sewage flooded the Primrose School of Rowlett and left classrooms and playgrounds contaminated. Staff members had to relocate the kids while the school closed for cleanup. And Primrose just filed a lawsuit suing the city for property damage, private nuisance, and negligence. We've reached out to city officials and will update you as soon as we hear back. We told you about how Fort Worth ISD is at risk of a state takeover, but they're not the only North Texas district. Lake Worth ISD says it got a disappointing rating from the Texas Education Agency, and Adriana de Alba was at a school board meeting as leaders worked to address the challenge.
Lake Worth ISD finds itself in dangerous territory right now, facing a possible state takeover, and tonight the superintendent addressed the issue head on. The new TEA A through F accountability ratings show Lake Worth ISD's Marilyn Miller Language Academy had its 5th consecutive F rating. Now, under state law, that requires mandatory closure of the school or state intervention. The district's overall grade did improve from an F to a D, but every campus except the high school received a failing grade. The board president called this moment a chance to grow. Meanwhile, the district's new superintendent, Dr. Mark Martinez, is already pushing data-driven changes to try to turn things around. He says the district has already presented its plans to the TEA, and now they're just waiting for feedback. This marks the 2nd school district in North Texas facing a potential state takeover after Fort Worth ISD. Now, despite that, no parents spoke at tonight's board meeting, but the superintendent did not shy away from the issue.
The data's out, it is what it is. We're going to face it head on, and we're going to face the challenge that is ahead of us. We're disappointed in the results. There's no one in this room that's excited about this letter grade that we have in front of us. You know, so we're disappointed, but we're not an F. We are a 62. And we're going to have to come together to improve this district.
So right now, it's not a matter of if the state can intervene, it's a matter of how. The district is now waiting on next steps from the TEA, and depending on what happens next, could reshape who runs Lake Worth schools. In Lake Worth, I'm Adriana de Alba.
And to see how your school district did, head to WFAA.com for a full list of ratings. We also have a special on WFAA Plus right now that takes a deep dive into those ratings. If your son or daughter plays sports, you know there's a chance of getting injured anytime they step on the field. But what if new technology could minimize the chances or prevent it? As Jonah Javad reports, there's a whole new way of looking at how athletes move.
I'll let you know when the camera's ready. I'll say go.
All right, we're triggered and ready.
Ready, go. Nice.
We're really bringing the data and the tech and the science to the patients.
At Scottish Rite for Children, they help athletes rehab and recover.
How's it feel?
But thanks to some new technology,
we have 8 different cameras, so they're collecting those different views all at once.
They're trying to prevent injuries from happening in the first place.
A lot of research hasn't been done at the adolescent level with youth athletes, so we're just trying to help the community, physicians, practitioners better understand what risk factors to look out for.
Dr. Sophia Ullman runs the Movement Science Lab in Frisco, where they use 3D motion capture technology to track the body movements of athletes.
Got the video saved if you want to watch it again.
Like Ethan Hahn, a college kid who plays ice hockey for Texas A&M.
They're able to pick up on a lot of small stuff that I don't feel is wrong, and I thought that was pretty cool.
So around the cameras, that's going to be the capture space. We're going to take those first 3 steps and look at that acceleration of that.
The tech is allowing us to be able to see movement deficiencies in a very detailed way.
And we have a pitching mound that can actually get up to a full MLB distance.
Whether it's hockey or baseball or whatever sport it is, through the skeletal movements, the software is then able to provide scientific data on the athlete's biomechanics.
And that allows us to capture deficiencies that you may not see visually.
But if athletes know about them ahead of time,
a lot of the injuries for hockey players happen at the hips, so we're kind of seeing what are some of those forces that could make that happen.
They can adjust their training to strengthen those weaknesses.
Ready, go.
And help prevent those injuries from occurring.
As soon as he starts moving, I'm going to click the trigger and we'll be live.
Ready, go.
The more data we get, the more athletes that we have come through our door, the more actionable I think that we'll be able to be.
So if you want to get an athlete assessment done for your teenager, it's simple. You just call up the Movement Science Lab at Scottish Rite, let them know you want to get one done. It is cash pay, but considering how many athletes we have in the North Texas area, they may need to get some more phones. In Frisco, I'm Jonah Javad.
If this sounds like something you're interested in, for $100, young athletes get a detailed report on how they move. And for $300, they'll also receive a personal, in-depth consultation with a physical therapist. And those are your headlines from North Texas.